So there's this guy called Peter Levels, and about a week ago he released a game which was entirely built by Claude and Cursor, and it's actually a multiplayer airplane game. Can you guess how much he's making right now? 70k, not per year, per month. What he did is absolutely genius. He let companies purchase air balloons with their names on them. He charges an absolute mad 2k per month for one air balloon, and I'm pretty sure the price keeps going up as we speak. I mean, he even sold like planets. For example, he sold Jupiter to a company called SoftGen AI for like 5k per month. And this actually ties in perfectly to the topic of this video. Now, Peter obviously was only able to make this much money by going viral. And he was only able to go viral because he had a personal brand on X, which he was growing for literal years. I mean, if you look at his history, his content goes way back. I remember the first video I watched about him is him explaining how to bootstrap SaaS companies. I recommend this video very much. Anyways, in other words, this is the only way you can survive the AI era as developer, or as anyone for that matter of fact. It is by having a personal connection to your customers. Now, I know this sounds very wishy-washy, so let me explain a bit more what I mean by giving you this scenario, right? So let me quickly show you what I mean by this scenario. Let's go into a SkellyDraw and let's imagine there are two people. So now A1 and A2. They both have a goal. One person targets the customer and the other person targets the sale. So let me explain the difference between these two. One, you don't really care about the money in quotes, right? You obviously want the money in the end, but you put that on the back of your mind. You first want to get customers. And so what the first guy is going to try to do is to get as many customers as possible so that eventually in the future he will get a sale. But the guy with the second app, he's going to try to push the sale right away. And people don't like that. They don't want to feel like they're being sold to, but I'm sure you already know that. So let me expand this scenario. Let's say they both have a YouTube channel. Let me quickly draw this out. I'm still new to using this tool, but I think it's quite cool. So, all right, YouTube channel. Now, they'll both get views, but there's a difference. The guy with the first app actually read a book on human behavior. So quickly like this. Read a book. While the second guy just makes content. Now, it's obvious to you already who's gonna make more money, right? Obviously the guy with the first app, because he knows what people want, but that's not the case actually. People don't really know what they want most of the time, so you have to kind of brainwash them in order to think that, wait, I need this, otherwise I can't continue with my life. Which is, let's be honest, what Notion did. You can take notes in any app, right? But Notion just makes it so easy and simple, you just want to use it straight away. And so this is the key, human interaction. Now this guy will get customers and he will get the sale. This guy will not get the sale, neither the customer, because he doesn't know the customer and he's just trying to sell. And this ties in how AI builds the product for you, but it doesn't sell it for you, right? And so one guy that does this very well is called Mark Liu. Let me show you his X real quick. By the way, if you want to follow me on X, I'll put the link in the description. So he posts like every single day about his progress, about his failures, and much more. So let me go back to the video. Now, do you see what the first guy did? He completely manipulated their brains into thinking, I need this product, otherwise I'll die. Now, I know this is quite exaggerated, but in the end, this is actually how it plays out. And because this is quite difficult to achieve, at least in the long term, here are 3 actionable steps you can take right now in order to build an audience. Number 1, the most obvious thing, build a personal brand. This is what you're seeing me do right now, both on YouTube and on X. Follow me, by the way. Now, in the beginning, your content will most likely be absolute garbage. I don't think I've ever been good at anything in the beginning, but the key is to show up every single day without failure. Now, in my case, 2 weeks ago, I actually started my X account and I've already reached like 200 followers, which is not that much on the large scale of things. However, I'm quite proud of that number because I only started 2 weeks ago. And in the case of this channel, it's actually my second video on it, which is why the quality improved so much compared to the last video, which you can go check out, by the way. Now, let me get to the most important thing when building a personal brand. It is to provide value for free. You're not gonna get far if you gatekeep all your knowledge behind the paywall and just kind of edge the customers into buying that product. Most YouTubers actually give you the impression of providing value, but they're just speaking a bunch of nonsense. They just want you to buy the course. Take Iman Gaji as an example. Did he actually give you like actionable steps to take? Or is he just like telling you, essentially buy this course, you'll get way better value there. And obviously there's nothing wrong with it. I think courses are quite a great thing nowadays because you can access the knowledge of other people even if it's behind a paywall. Number 2, increase your knowledge. Now you can create content all you want, but if you don't even know anything, no one cares. Literally nobody will listen to you, except if you have the relatability fact, but we're going to talk about that in the next video. Now I actually learned this lesson the hard way. I had once launched a SaaS that nobody really wanted. I hadn't talked to people and figured out, do you really need this SaaS or do you not need it? I had no audience. I didn't know who I was building it for. I just thought the idea was cool, which was very bad, because you don't want to build tools that sound cool, but nobody actually wants. So I was kind of disappointed at launch day when I made absolutely nothing, but it is what it is. I discovered 5 months later that someone had built the exact same SaaS, but they actually marketed it right. So contrary to what you might think, and what I just said earlier, it's not the product itself. Marketing was trash. As a matter of fact, I did absolutely no marketing whatsoever. I just hoped that someone would buy something, which is so delusional on a different level. I literally just expected people to give me money because I put effort into something. Now again, if you have a personal brand, that's very likely to happen. But if you're just a nobody with 0 followers, no chance. Number 3, don't focus on virality, focus on targeting the right audience. Now this is actually not the first channel that I started. I actually had quite a lot of channels before this one, but the one I ran before this was called Fuji Codes, and that was actually kind of coding entertainment channel. Now the reason I stopped posting there is kind of complicated, but I try my best to distill the reason into this video. My mistake with that channel was that I made the channel especially for buddies. Now what are buddies? Buddies are people who will watch your channel for entertainment purposes only. They don't want to be educated. They aren't students, they're just buddies. And the issue with buddies is that they don't buy. They aren't a high value audience. Now, obviously there will be exceptions here and there, but once you start selling something, they'll kind of switch on you and say it was all about the money anyways, which is literally what some of them said. And actually it's completely understandable. It was completely my fault. You know why? Because I edited the videos in a high dopamine fashion and it didn't attract the right audience. Now to be fair, I didn't really know who I was making these videos for, but it's still my fault. But why don't buddies actually buy something? Well, think about this. People don't buy from a friend. And if you edit content in a way that has people thinking about you as their friend, you know, these kind of parasocial relationships, they literally think of you as their friend. I knew him for a long time. We're friends, don't worry. But I don't even know you, so why are you acting like that towards me? Now this is a mistake I did in the past as well with some of other self-help YouTubers, for example, but I don't do that anymore, mainly because now I'm searching for value and not just for entertainment. So try to edit your videos in a very dopamine-less fashion, so don't add all these Mr. Beast effects and everything. Just put like your face, talk to the camera, and maybe a little bit of text here and there. And obviously you can still edit them well and in a nice manner, but try to keep it as professional as possible. Now actually the reason I got so many buddy subscribers was because one video went viral for the wrong purposes. Now I actually made a YouTube Shorts automation tool which attracted a lot of people that knew nothing about coding but still wanted to make a bunch of money from it. Now understandably I did call the program Money Printer, but still it wasn't my thing after a while. I noticed it was just getting weird and these random people opening up GitHub issues like how to fix, please, like begging in the GitHub issues for me to fix their problems, joining my Discord server, feeling entitled to something which I have no need to give them. For example, there are guys who claimed that Money Printer had a bug, but they hadn't even initialized their Python virtual environment. Now, if you don't know what that means, completely fine. It's essentially like installing a Next.js app without installing the dependencies and then saying the Next.js app is broken, which is stupid, right? Anyways, the core point is don't attract buddies, but students. Be professional. People don't buy from a friend. And lastly, this journey is pretty hard to go on alone, so I actually made a Discord server for devs trying to be independent, and you can join it by clicking on the link in the description below. Again, if you want to follow me on my journey of building my own AI tool, follow me on X and YouTube, and I'll share my progress there and what I learned. Now, I'll keep this Discord server actually strictly for people who are active on it so that we don't get mindless consumers on it and we can actually keep the server high value without me needing to charge for it later on. Anyway, see you in the next one.